Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, today I'm going to be telling you about my trip to Dublin and London with McIntire, so let's just jump right into it. We started our trip in Dublin where there was a major snowstorm. This canceled our cultural day, so those of us who were there made our own cultural day. First we visited Trinity College, alma mater of Oscar Wilde, Bram Stoker, and Niall from One Direction. There we saw the Book of Kells, Trinity College Library, and the oldest harp in the world. Then we headed over to Dublin Castle and afterwards St. Patrick's Cathedral. Then we went to Teeling's Whiskey Distillery where we got to learn the history of whiskey in Dublin, how whiskey is made, and then we got to try out tasting whiskey. On our second day in Dublin, we started off our company visits at AdRoll. They told us about how they started as a retargeting platform but now focus on growth. Then they discussed client interaction. Some of their bigger clients include Apartment List, SeatGeek, Purple, and Credible. They help companies start ad campaigns and then look at the analytics of their performance. What I found most interesting was that they don't have contracts with their clients, they rely on trust. Next, we bust on over to Zalando, a high-end e-commerce fashion retailer. They discussed how they use Instagram trends and customer targeting to recommend clothing to different users. Our third stop was at Facebook. There, they let us try out the Oculus Rift. I've only ever seen people use this on YouTube, so getting to use it in real life made me really understand why people are praising this up-and-coming technology. The presentation focused on how companies advertise on Facebook. They stressed how a company really has to tailor their campaign to the way Facebook works. An ad has to be thumb-stopping. It has to stop the users in its tracks and make them watch the whole video. The better they are at this, the more people are going to see their ad. We ended our day at Guinness. There we got to see how beer is made, their marketing campaigns through the years, and then we got a free pint of Guinness. On our third and final day in Dublin, we started at Analytic Partners. Here we learned how they help their clients with marketing analytics. They talked to us about how they track the usefulness of the advertisements, how they analyze data, and what kind of advertisements are most effective. After that, we left beautiful Dublin and we were on our way to London. On the plane ride there, I saw a beautiful rainbow circle in the clouds. On our first full day in London, we went to the company that I was most excited to see, Google and YouTube. Google had an amazing office where each division got to design their own pixel art out of Post-it notes. They also had a Bowie suite, and that made me pretty happy. Then we went downstairs to the YouTube space. That was one of the coolest experiences I've had. We got to see these studios that YouTubers used to make videos. They also had a wall of YouTube videos playing, and I thought it was amazing to see YouTubers that I watch being celebrated in that way. Then we talked with one of the partner managers of YouTube. It was really interesting to hear him speak about advertising on YouTube and the partner program that they have with all the content creators. Later that day, we went to a presentation in our hotel all about Hilton. Now, this presentation definitely surprised me the most. I was not expecting to have as much fun as I did there. Our host, Lena, focused on the Hilton brand and how they target their customers. She then let us try it out for ourselves and make our own hotel chain. My group had a lot of fun with that. We created the Van Dyke Hotel, a hotel chain meant for senior citizens. It was really great getting to hear my professors laugh at all the ways that we were going to target the older generation. Our second day in London was our cultural day. Our amazing tour guide took us to Westminster Abbey. It was insane to see the final resting places of all these famous people we learned about in school, like Isaac Newton, Charles Dickens, Charles Darwin. Then we went by a tube stop that they used in a scene in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Now, as a Harry Potter fan, that really made me excited. After that, we had a scenic boat tour of the Thames. And then we got lunch at Borough Market where I got to have some classic fish and chips. Then we went over to Millennium Bridge, also known as the bridge that the Death Eaters destroyed in Harry Potter. There we saw some really cool bubblegum street art. And a few minutes later, we met the artist. And he has a Wikipedia page, which means he's a big deal. After our tour, a few of us went to Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, a replica of the original theater which had burned down due to a cannon being fired on the premises. On our third day in London, we went to VaynerMedia. I found it interesting how much they focused on the now. They said that companies should invest in advertising on social media platforms even if they might not be around in a few years or a few months. They focus on culture hacking, designing the experience for the empathy of the customer, and getting the consumer to change their perspective. Then we got a surprise visit from Snapchat. They discussed how they want their app to be used more like a camera. They also said that they want their app to be used between close personal friends, and they don't want it to be a competition. One very cool feature they showed us was an AR experience where users could go inside a house from Stranger Things and look around. Our final company visit was with Twitter. Now, I definitely did not expect to go in there and listen to someone tell us how we should choose what company to work for. But now I kind of want to work at Twitter. They thrive on creativity, laughter, individuality, and personal expression. They then discussed how they work with global brands to promote products and how they help connect influencers with companies for brand deals. That evening, I got to feel like Peter Pan and fly over London while riding the London Eye. After that, I checked another item off my bucket list and saw a West End show. We ended up seeing Young Frankenstein. Then came our last day in London, also known as Speed Tourism Day. First we visited Buckingham Palace, and then we went over to Covent Gardens. There I got a chance to go into a Krylon store. This was special for me because Krylon is an FX makeup company that sponsors one of my favorite shows, Face Off. I talked to the woman who was working there about the show and then pretended to be interested in their classes in order to get their free flyers. Afterwards, we headed over to King's Cross and visited Platform 9 3/4. Sadly, that afternoon I had to get on a plane and end one of the best trips of my life. I took away a lot from my trip abroad. I now understand how much goes into a company's marketing campaign and how important both the creative and the analytics side of marketing is. Without the analytics, you don't know how well your creative is doing. And without being creative, you can never improve on your analytics. I also know how much new technology is expanding the field. This trip also helped me better understand my career goals. I want to work somewhere that challenges me to express myself creatively, to better myself, and the company. It also made me realize that I want to work in London or Dublin someday. I had a great time and I learned so much, not just about digital marketing, but also about Ireland and London. I never thought that I would get a chance to experience something like this, and I would do it over again 100 times.